Hello everyone, welcome to Lush and Salty Aquariums. Okay, so today I did a maintenance on my 125 gallon mixed reef tank. I had help, as I do with saltwater tank in my house, but I do all of the work on my many freshwater tanks, which are considerably easier, but still no small task when you have 12 of them. But I have one of these, and it's 125 gallons mixed reef, and you can see it's just chock full of life, and that life is doing very, very well. For some reason, the fish are not right front and center as they usually are, but I bet if I move closer, they will come to glass, thinking I have some food for them. But I wanted a wide angle to start things off, and so that's where we're at. There's a yellow tang, the iconic Florida native, looking fat and happy. And there's a magnificent foxface swimming across front and center. These fish are longtime residents in this tank, at least 2 years, some considerably longer, and they're fat and happy. There is Bull, that's what I call him. That's the Sailfin Tang, that giant-monstrous fish, pan size to be blunt. And there is a cleaner wrasse right there, the blue and white striped creature swimming to and fro. And those are some of the primary swimming residents of this tank. Inside this aquarium, I also have, in terms of invertebrates, cleaner shrimp, and I have a wonderful red sea serpent starfish, which is not out right now, but man, that thing is spectacular. But I wanted to capture this tank when the glass was at its cleanest and the water at its cleanest, and show you these giant monstrous leather corals, once again, the pride and joy of my tank. On the left side, you see a number of different strains of leather. There's two strains here, a long polyp variety and a shorter polyp variety. This is a frag, that one there, from this one here. I just cut literally like I'm cutting a portobello mushroom, and I have videos showing you how I frag these corals. There's another one back there, which is kind of interesting. I use a sawed-off chopstick and crazy glue and a piece of rubble rock, and literally impale the frag of leather coral onto the chopstick, and use some crazy glue for added support for the chopstick. And I have videos about that if you want to see. And this is a toxic green cabbage leather. It's beautiful, and there's another piece of it there. Back there I have some green star polyps. You see them poking through. The only thing that's not doing brilliant in here are my large Paleothoa grandes, those cup-shaped corals in the back. Those seem to be coming back, but they had bleached out probably from the super hot July and August weather, which heated up this tank because we don't have air conditioning in this house. And that's my most likely reason for the bleaching of really all of that species of coral. I'll show you, there's some that are closed up down there, but the same thing happened to only those corals, so it definitely was something that just affected that species. I also have Gorgonian, which are like a poor man's stony coral, in that they have that vertical branch-like structure, but they're soft and flowy and relatively inexpensive, and if you get them growing like I have, they're pretty fantastic. For some, they're harder to grow coral than for other people, but I've had great luck with them, as I have with the leathers. This is not a tree coral. This is another leather, a more branching variety, maybe a sinulera coral, but it's not the toxic green variety. It's not showing its most magnificent plumage, but there's a really neat naked tree branch effect going there. The Kenyan coral is back through there, and that is like a weed coral. It's in between these two monstrous leathers. You can see it peeking out. And speaking of the monstrous leathers, Look at the size of these two. Oh my God. Two different kinds coexisting next to each other. Look at how long and flowy those polyps are. That's just fantastic. So beautiful. And this is a neater green variety here, not showing its magnificent color, but certainly healthy. A lot of these corals are right up against each other, duh. And that's not a brilliant way for corals to grow, but given Gorgonian and leather are pretty hardy, they're doing just fine. There you see a fairy wrasse. I don't know the specific name of this one. I'm just getting a little bit harassed by the cleaner wrasse. I also have a Nioke fairy wrasse in here, which is one of my favorite wrasse species. I have this coal tang that just ducked back under here, not to be confused with a purple tang, although it is purple with the iconic yellow eye. And then flying over to the corner, I have my pair of clowns, which host that power head up in the back. That's just where they like to live. And it's a boy and a girl, two different varieties of the Ocellaris clown. One of them a little bit more exotic, showing the whiter white and the darker, almost black orange. And that is a mom and a pop. They have spawned up there, but obviously the young don't come to fruition in a tank like this. They would be devoured. I've never seen fry, but I've seen their eggs up there, and they lay them against the power head. I'm kind of just taking my sweet ass time here, hoping maybe the Nioke wrasse or the sea serpent star comes out. That's not going to happen. I have a green bubble tip anemone. If you beg the camera move, I will take you and show you that. It's pretty big. I feed that a dead freshwater fish whenever something bellies up in one of my many other freshwater tanks. I just lower the corpse into there, and he takes care of it. A beautiful tank. I don't know, I'm pretty darn happy with it. It kind of takes care of itself, but that's bullshit. I have help, but I mean, I don't have a pressing problem save for that bleaching coral event, and I think that's under control. The worst is done, and if nothing else, the leathers will just take over in place of those animals, and we will be fine. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this view. As always, comment. Let me know what you think, questions. Love to hear from you. Per usual, keep your hands in the tank. Ciao for now.